Good afternoon, Director
Good
Matiba.
afternoon.
As NBI Director, you are the Chief Executive of the Bureau.
I'm the chief of the bureau. Yes.
And part of your duties is to oversee the conduct of investigation, correct?
Tama po.
You're also authorized to issue subpoenas for the production of witnesses and documents, correct?
Correct. Tama po.
Very well. Now, the NBI conducted an investigation following the November 23, 2024 press con, am I right?
I'm aware under the report that there was a subpoenaed issue,
Okay.
but I have no personal
All right.
knowledge on the issuance.
Okay, we'll go there in a while. But this investigation was documented in the two affidavits of investigation, correct?
That's correct.
And did you read and understand these two affidavits of investigation?
I read the affidavit of investigation which was forwarded to the Department of Justice, which is dated February 11.
Okay. So, as part of that investigation, will you agree that individuals were subpoenaed?
There were individuals subpoenaed.
More or less 10
Your Honor?
subpoenas?
Your Honor, please.
Counsel for the panel of prosecutors. Rather, the lead prosecutor is recognized.
Your Honor, the witness was appointed as NBI Director only in February 2026. His testimony with respect to the first investigation will only be based on records.
Your
So
Honor-
if it will go into the detail of the investigation, I'm afraid, Your Honor, he is not competent as he has no personal knowledge about the first investigation, Your Honor.
To begin with, asked and answered, and the witness was about to answer if he knows, given that he is the superior, current superior of this agency, and I presume that he has kept himself abreast of what happened in his agency prior to his assumption in February of 2026. Witness may answer if he knows.
Please repeat the question.
So, more or less around 10 subpoenas were issued, correct? If you know.
Well, I cannot count,
All right.
but I know that their personality is subpoena.
Okay, very well. Now, these people were asked to appear before the NBI, correct?
Yes, that is the very purpose of the subpoena.
Okay. Now, these appearances were on various dates in November and December of 2024, correct? If you know.
I cannot recall
Okay.
exactly.
Now, if you know also, some appeared while some did not.
Yes, I was informed during the briefing.
All right. Now, for those who appeared, the NBI conducted interviews with them.
Yes,
All right. And minutes of these interviews were recorded, correct?
that is the standard procedure. So I suppose during that time it was recorded.
SOP. All right. So after the interviews, the interviewers were also NBI agents, executed affidavits. Is that also a part of the SOP?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And the affidavits attested that interviews were conducted, correct?
Yes, it will be signed by the investigating officers and eventually signed by a superior officer.
Okay. Very clear so far. Now, my question to you is this. Did you actually participate in these stages of the investigation?
Your
That is
Honor?
very impossible because I'm not yet a director at that time.
Okay, that's okay. Are you aware that a subpoena was issued to VP Sara?
Yes, I was informed.
Did you sign that subpoena?
I was not
No.
there. I
All
cannot
right.
sign
Okay.
it.
Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Dempsey Reyes of the Philippine Daily Inquirer?
I know that there are personalities subpoena who were present during the press conference on the November 23, but I cannot recall who are the personalities because I just went through to the affidavit of investigation.
Did you sign that subpoena for Dempsey Reyes?
That's impossible because
Okay.
I'm not that there.
That's okay. Now, are you aware also that a subpoena was issued to Red Mendoza of Manila Times? We can confront you with the hard copy if you just want to refer to it, but you can answer also. At any rate, we are showing the soft copies, Your Honor,
Your Honor, may I just...
for the benefit of this honorable court.
Assisting counsel may approach the witness. What is the pleasure of the lead prosecutor?
Your Honor, may just enter into the record that the witness already testified that he has no personal knowledge about the first investigation, and all his testimonies will be based only on the records existing in the NBI.
At any rate, Your Honor,
If he knows, witness will answer.
Your Honor, may we request also that those flashed in the big screen be explained by the defense counsel?
I already explained, Your Honor. We're confronting the witness with hard copies and the subpoenas, the soft copies thereof are displayed.
May we
as-
know, Your Honor, if these documents are pre-marked?
Well, it is part, Your Honor, of Articles of Impeachment, Annex G9, pages 159 onwards. So it is part of the records of this case. These
May
are
we
not
know
our
if they are
documents.
pre-marked?
Yes, we can mark it. And it was also pre-marked.
It is
But at any
pre-marked?
rate, Your Honor, these are not our documents. These are NBI documents, Your Honor.
No, the query is just if it's pre-marked so that the senator judges can refer to it if at all when they
The
read
marking,
the TSN.
sorry, Your Honor, the marking is D-1-145, Your Honor.
Which
Your Honor-
which document, counsel? Because I see 8 documents.
In succession, Your Honor.
In
Those
succession.
those are all parts.
Counsel may proceed.
All right. Now,
Your
are you...
Honor, may I be clarified only about the XX, which are superimposed on those documents on the screen?
Counsel for respondent will please reply.
Your Honor, it was based on the witness's own answer that he did not personally sign.
Nonetheless, it does not reflect the exact document referred to by the defense, Your Honor. And that should not be allowed, Your Honor, with all due respect.
It is just to illustrate, Your Honor, for the benefit of the senator judges and as well as the public watching so that they can also follow the...
Lead prosecutor, we will allow it. So for the information of senator judges, the counsel for the respondent confronted the witness with respect to these affidavits that were part of the investigation conducted prior to his assumption as NBI director. And the witness simply stated that he has no personal knowledge with respect to the execution or due execution rather of these 2 affidavits thus far out of, I presume, 10.
More,
May I comment, Your Honor?
The lead prosecutor may register her comment.
May I know what is wrong with just presenting the exact document instead of those which are marked with XX? Your Honor, I'm afraid it will give a wrong impression to the viewing public that those XX has something to do with inability, perhaps, or whatever impression it may give to the witness with respect to the to attending to the subpoena, Your Honor.
Short
May we
rejoin-
just remove those XX? We don't mind if they flash the documents, but it should be an exact reflection of what the document is.
short rejoinder, Your Honor.
No need for a rejoinder. Court is ruled, and the court notes the observation, manifestation, and objection of the lead prosecutor. Again, I think it's quite plain that these are documents that the witness cannot or does not have personal knowledge about because he was not yet the NBI director. Counsel may proceed. Witness may answer.
All right, I'll move on. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Red Mendoza of Manila Times?
I'm aware that there is a subpoena, but on the actual issuance of the subpoena at that time, that will be impossible to be aware of because I'm no longer I'm
So-
not yet an NBA director.
So in short, you did not sign it.
I did not
All right,
sign.
okay.
I think it was
Oh,
signed
that-
by Glenn Ricarte.
All right, that's enough. Okay. Now, are you aware also that the subpoena was issued to Bons Magsambol of Rappler?
Based on the affidavit of investigation, I think it was mentioned.
And did you sign that subpoena?
It is again signed by a certain Glenn Ricarte.
Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Ana Rosario Malindog Uy, also of Manila Times?
Again, based on the investigation report.
And did you sign that subpoena?
No.
All right. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Jason Rubrico of SMNI?
Again, based on the investigation report.
Did you sign that subpoena?
Your Honor, may I
Impossible.
respectfully interrupt?
Lead prosecutor is recognized.
The prosecution is willing to stipulate as to the issuance of this subpoena by the National Bureau of Investigation during the time that the witness is not yet appointed as the NBI director, Your Honor.
But that's not my question, Your Honor.
I
Anyway,
think
Your
that
Honor.
unless you're willing to stipulate, counsel, to abbreviate the proceedings, that insofar as the questions of the counsel for respondent is concerned, that for the remaining 4 subpoenas, that the same answer of the witness for the previous 6 ones will be the same.
We are willing to stipulate on that, Your Honor.
We are not willing to stipulate, Your Honor. We'll just ask for a ruling from the court.
In that case, witness may proceed. Witness may answer. Counsel will please proceed.
All right. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued again to Jason Rubrico of SNM9?
Same answer, Your
Okay,
Honor.
same answer. And you did not sign that subpoena for Jason.
I said
Rubrico.
same answer,
All right.
Your Honor.
Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Mikael Flores of Reuters?
Same answer, Your Honor.
Your Honor, may we ask, Your Honor, that the lawyer of the prosecution do not supply anything or make any comment near the witness because it may affect us.
Is he the assisting counsel may not supply any information to the witness other than merely observing the document being shown to him by assisting counsel for respondent. Counsel may proceed.
Mr. Presiding Officer, may I speak?
Yes, Director.
The counsel is not telling anything, but may I request not to cover me so that the people can see me.
Yes, that may be granted by the presiding
Thank
officer.
you, Your Honor.
Assisting counsel, kindly sit beside the assisting counsel stand beside the assisting counsel for the respondent. You may proceed, counsel,
All right.
for the respondent.
Are you aware that a subpoena was issued to Mikhail Flores of Reuters?
Same answer, Your
Same
Honor.
answer. You did not sign it. Okay. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to Trixie Cruz Angeles?
Same answer.
And you did not sign it. Okay. Are you aware that the subpoena was issued to 2 OVP personnel? And did you sign these subpoenas?
Same answer.
All right. So not a single one. Now, my next question to you is this. Did you oversee any interview that was conducted in the fact-finding investigation?
Your Honor, the question is vague.
If the witness is a lawyer and is competent to
Your
answer,
Honor-
if he knows, Your Honor.
Your Honor, during the direct, it was established that there were 2 investigations. The first investigation and the current investigation of the STF.
Then,
the defense need to specify which investigation is he referring to.
The affidavit.
Counsel will please clarify.
Okay. Did you oversee an interview that was conducted in the investigation that was covered by the affidavit of investigation?
As mentioned in my testimony, I was appointed only on February 20, 2026, and it's very unlikely to be part of the investigation prior to that.
Okay. So, are you aware that there were at least 4 interviews that were conducted?
Your Honor, asked and answered.
That is a different question, Your Honor.
Nonetheless,
Witness may answer.
I'm not aware because I'm not yet there.
Okay, so are you aware? Let me be more specific. Are you aware that an interview of Dempsey Reyes of PDI was conducted?
I'm not aware of that, but as reflected in the investigation report, it was there.
So, in other words, you did not oversee that interview.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Are you aware that there was an interview of Fred Mendoza of Manila Times?
Same answer, Your Honor.
Same answer. Are you aware that there was an interview of Bons Magsambol of Rappler?
Same answer.
Same answer. So you did not oversee that interview. And are you aware that there was an interview of Jason Rubrico? Did you oversee this interview?
Again, same answer.
Same answer. Okay. Did you see them sign any minutes of the meeting?
No.
No. Did you meet any one of these interviewees?
At
Before
that
or
time?
after? Before or after?
Who among the
Among the interviewees that I mentioned? No. Did you meet any one of their lawyers?
No.
No. Now, were you even present at the NBI Cybercrime Division office at the time of these interviews?
That is impossible.
All right. After the interviews, affidavits attesting to the interviews were executed, as you mentioned. Did you oversee the drafting of these affidavits by the NBI agents?
Again, very unlikely. I was not present.
All right.
Your Honor, if I may interrupt, may I just enter a
Lead
continuing...
prosecutor may make a manifestation and or a continuing objection, as I presume she will.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm entering a continuing objection to the line of questions of the defense on the ground as stated by the witness. He has no personal knowledge about the investigation conducted prior to his appointment in February 2026, Your Honor.
Just
That
a
is for
short
the
rejoinder.
record.
The
Your
continuing
Honor.
objection is noted. Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
No need for that rejoinder. But were you present when the NBI agents subscribed and sworn to their affidavits?
I was not there.
You were not there. Still nothing. So, and since you did not actually participate, it means that you do not have personal knowledge of these stages of the investigation, correct?
During that time, yes, but as I mentioned earlier, I read the investigation report.
So your knowledge of the investigation was based on only of your reading.
That is absolutely correct,
All right.
and upon the discussion of the investigating
Okay,
officers.
very well. Now, were you present at the November 23, 2024 press con?
I was not present.
You were not
I was
present.
not participating on that.
And if you know, was any NBI agent present at the November 23, 2024 press con?
Not that I know of.
None. All right. So in layman's terms, for the benefit of this honorable court and the Filipino people watching, and I'll phrase my question in Tagalog. So sa kabila po ng pagtestigo po ninyo ngayong araw, inaamin nyo ba na wala kayong personal na kaalaman sa nangyaring investigation starting November 23, 2024?
Malinaw naman po yun. At ang korte po, I can take judicial notice of the fact na hindi pa po ako NBI director ng panahon na yun.
So you're confirming that you do not have personal knowledge because you were only appointed as NBI director a year later or on February 20,
Your Honor, ask and
2026,
answer
correct?
question.
No, I haven't even asked that question, Your Honor.
Kindly let counsel finish.
So again, I will repeat. So the reason for this is that because you became NBI director only a year later or on February 20, 2026, correct?
Tama po.
All right. Okay. So prior to February 20, 2026, you do not have any personal knowledge of any investigation, correct?
Nababasa ko lang po sa balita mga pangyayari.
Which is not personal knowledge, correct?
Well, yun lang po yung knowledge natin.
You're a lawyer, correct?
Tama po, 29 years.
29 years. Can you recall Rule 130, Section 22 of the Rules of Evidence?
Can you refresh me, sir?
Okay, I will
Because you have a
gladly
copy.
refresh you, of course. I have here a copy of Rule 130, Section 22 of the Rules of Evidence, and I'll read it. Please read with me, Director Matibag. Testimony confined to personal knowledge. A witness can testify only to those facts which he or she knows of his or her personal knowledge, that is, which are derived from his or her own perception. Can you recall that rule now?
Ayan po, nababasa ko po ngayon.
Okay, you
Tama
can
po.
read it. All right. So, based on this rule, will you agree with me that a witness can only testify based on his personal knowledge?
Your Honor, may I comment to that?
These are basic questions, Your Honor. The witness is a lawyer. He is competent enough to answer.
Counsel, are you making an objection?
This is a comment, Your Honor. The witness repeatedly testified that he was appointed only in February 2026 and that all his testimonies pertaining to the first investigation are based on records, Your Honor. And this is allowed. As a matter of fact, under the rules, entries in official records are considered as prima facie evidence of the contents thereof. And thus, it's exactly the basis of the witness in answering the question of the defense. All his knowledge pertaining to the first investigation are based on records.
Short rejoinder, Your Honor.
No need, counsel. Distinguished lead prosecutor, the counsel for respondent did not object to the line of questioning of the lead prosecutor earlier, based exactly on the ground cited by the lead prosecutor. The presiding officer will give sufficient leeway to the counsel for respondent to establish his point. I think you also see what he is trying to establish. That's why he made a continuing objection in relation to it. I'll give you some leeway, counsel, but go to your next topic as soon as you're done with this.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, again, based on this rule, a witness can only testify based on his personal knowledge, correct?
Tama po, pero meron pong mga exceptions sa rule
All
na
right.
yan.
Okay. If not based on personal knowledge, then that is hearsay, correct?
But it's not an absolute rule po dahil may exceptions nga po.
Okay, now, I'm trying to look for the Filipino term for hearsay. Ano ba yung hearsay sa Tagalog? Sabi-sabi or chismis? Is that a fair translation? What is a fair translation to you of hearsay? in
Your Honor, the
Filipino?
question of the defense is misleading. He never testified that that is hearsay.
No, I'm not
As a
asking
matter
him.
of fact, he's trying to raise the exception to hearsay.
I'm not asking about the exceptions of hearsay. I'm asking a translation of hearsay. Your
May
Honor.
we know-
Anyway, I'll move on to.
If the witness
If the
knows, if he does not know, he may say so.
Hindi ko po alam kung anong translation dito sa Tagalog.
Okay, so I'll just use my own translation, chismis. Anyway, at any rate, kung wala kang personal knowledge, chismis lang yon, tama?
Hindi ko naman po naririnig sa korte. Ako yung nag-practice din, kahit na-translate sa Tagalog. Kahit minsan ko po, hindi ko po narinig ng hearsay ginamit ang salitang chismis.
Alright, I'll move on. Now, the main material that the NBI used in its investigation was the video of the November 23, 2024 press con, correct?
Tama po.
Did you watch that whole video yourself?
Napanood ko po.
The whole video?
Well, yung pong importanteng bagay dyan ang aking tinutukan pero napanood ko po.
Alright. Now, let me ask you, do you confirm that in that virtual press con, VP Sara spoke about a lot of topics?
Tama po.
Alright, I'll show you a portion of that video and then I'll ask questions thereafter. Now, Your Honor, we beg the indulgence of this honorable court. Again, this video is a little lengthy, but we will only show one video, Your Honor.
Counsel may proceed.
Pagkakain ninyo, buffet, yan, ito, sa House of Representatives, alak at namamahaling wine. Yan, yung taong bayan na prinamisan ninyo, 20 pesos na rice. Yung taong bayan na hindi ninyo pinupuntahan sa mga komunidad nila, ano sabi nila? Ganyan ang bayan natin. Okay na lang kami sa asin. Kung ka nakahanap, bayan, na ang tao, because of their hopelessness, because there is no functioning corporate, okay na lang sa asin. Lang abogado si Attorney Lopez eh. Kasi alam niya kung ano sasabihin niya doon sa mga
Your Honor, it appears that we're having technical difficulties. Can we just
Yes,
replay that part, Your Honor?
Tawin mo yung cellphone. Sasabihin mo,
Your Honor, may I make a manifestation first?
Can the tech kindly pause and rewind a bit with respect to the portion? Just a bit.
Your Honor, this is part of the question, Your Honor. Can we ask that the manifestation be made after the playing of this video and the asking of the appropriate question?
Your Honor, the manifestation concerns the very video that they are presenting.
We're already playing it, lead counsel. We will recognize you after the video is played. Kindly proceed with the playing of the video.
ng cellphone. Saan ka nakahanap? Papasok ka, nanakawin mo yung cellphone, dadalhin mo pa yung tao. Diba? Princess, you're raising your hand.
Hello? Naririnig po ba ako, Princess Maui?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good morning po, Madam Vice President. Thank you so much nga po pala sa dala niyong hopya nung hearing na pumunta kayo for PRRD. Kami yung nasa likod niyo po, yung tinawag nilang bastos kasi pumalak pa kami because of Congresswoman Cardema. Thank you, ma'am. Nakakain kami. Ako po ay natatakot kumain ng pagkain doon baka mamaya. Ma'am, mag-iingat po kayo. Nasa teritoryo kayo ng kalaban.
Okay lang
Nag-aalala po kami para...
ma'am, kasi sila naman sila talaga yung bastos eh. You read what you saw.
Yeah. Mag-iingat po kayo kasi sa dinami-rami po ng inyong mga pasabog ngayong gabi, it seems like marami po talaga kayong alam about them, no? Dahil sa pagkakasama niyo sa kanila during the campaign and during the 2022 elections. Baka po mamaya kasi totoo yung mga naririnig namin o yung, I don't know if it's true, na meron daw silang Operation Romanovs and baka bala kayong ubusin ang inyong pamilya dahil hadlang kayo sa kanilang mga bala in the future. So mag-ingat po kayo. Kami po kasi kami ng EDSA Friday Through, kami yung bumababa every Friday dyan sa EDSA because we believe yan yung tamang venue sa dinami-rami na ng problema natin. Ang kaya lang naman po namin gawin ay manawagan na bumaba na yan. Eh ano po kung ang remedy naman ninyong mga nasa posisyon or ng mga kayang labanan itong napakarami na pong ginagawang korupsyon at krimen laban sa taong bayan? Ano po ang pwede nyo maging remedy para matapos na ito? Lalo't nagsisigaw na po ang taong bayan na mag-people power.
Yes. Huwag ka mag-alala, ma'am, sa security ko. Kasi may kinausap na ako na tao. Ito sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil na. Kung hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes. So, alam mo, ma'am, yan ang lagi kong sinasabi sa mga kabayan lang. Ang laban, wala dyan sa EDSA, ma'am. Wala dyan sa mga highway. Ang laban, ma'am, nandun sa loob ng palasyo. Yan ang problema. We appreciate yung expression ninyo ng disgust, ng pagkamuhi, ng hopelessness, kasi it reflects kung ano yung nararamdaman ng marami, milyon. Alam ko yan, ma'am, kasi kahit saan ako pumunta, ako ang binoto namin yan dahil sinabi mo, iboto namin. So, yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat sa ginagawa ninyo. Dahil sa ginagawa ninyo, I'm sure nakikita yan ng taong bayan. E na-appreciate nila yan. Marami sa ating mga kababayan ang gusto sumali sa inyo. Pero sa sobrang hirap ng buhay ngayon, hindi nila maiwanan yung mga trabaho nila at hanap buhay nila para pumunta sa daan. Bakit sila naghihirap? Bakit? Dahil sa gobyerno. Hindi ba dapat yung gobyerno natin ang nagpapagaan ng buhay ng tao? Bakit ang gobyerno natin ang nagpapahirap lalo sa tao? Kasi gusto ba nila lagi na lang mahirap ang mga tao para madali mapasunod? May mga lugar kami sa Mindanao na ganyan ang mga politiko. Gusto nila mahirap lahat. Bahugan lang nila ang kwarta. Governor na sila, mayor na sila, congressman na sila. Hanapin niyo, ma'am, yung mga lugar na sobrang hirap sa Mindanao. Tingnan nyo anong gawain ng politiko. Pinapakain lang ng pera ng tao. Pinabastos yung kanilang pagkatao dahil wala silang pakialam.
All right. For the benefit of this court, that is timestamp 1-12, 1:12:43 onwards of the video recording with accompanying transcript.
With the
This is
permission of the counsel for respondent, the lead prosecutor is recognized for her manifestation.
Your Honor, I wish to manifest that the video which was played is unmarked and spliced video, Your Honor. That is for the record.
The counsel for respondent just mentioned the timestamp and the marking as well. Counsel for the respondent may proceed.
All right. Now, Director Matibag, these are my questions about the statements of VP Sara in that video. Do you have personal knowledge of the theft incident involving Attorney Lopez's cell phone?
Wala po.
Wala. Do you have personal knowledge on the buffet in the House of Representatives?
Wala po.
Wala. Do you have personal knowledge on the communities na asin lang ang kinakain?
Wala po.
Alright. Do you have personal knowledge on the person whom VP Sara talked to regarding BBM, FL, and the former speaker?
Wala po dahil
Wala.
siya nakipag-usap.
Alright. Okay. Thank you for that. So, now, you mentioned that you watched the whole video. My question to you is, did the NBI conduct any separate investigation regarding the various acts of corruption alleged acts of corruption of BBM, FL, the former speaker, and the congressman as mentioned by VP Sara?
Marami pong iniulat sa akin na mag-investigasyon, subalit hindi naman po kasi binanggit doon sa video sino ang mga particular na kailangang imbestigahan. Kaya naman po yung investigasyon na ginagawa ngayon ng NBI, maaaring tumutukoy na po sa mga taong binabanggit po.
Right, but as NBI director now, you have the authority to investigate alleged cases of corruption, correct?
Tama po yun.
All right. In fact, you came out in recently stating that you will investigate the 2019 SEA Games, correct?
Tama po.
All right. And the 2019 SEA Games came prior to this 2024 press con, correct?
Tama po.
Okay. Do you intend, my next question is this, do you also intend to investigate the alleged corruption involving the unaudited confidential funds of the OP, Office of the President, also mentioned by VP Sara?
Kung meron po mga ebidensyang ilalatag sa amin para amin pong sundan, hindi po magdadalawang isip ang NBI sapagkat ito po ang mandato ng NBI.
Alright, thank you for
Mag-imbestiga ng mga krimen po, amin pong nakikita.
Alright, thank you for that answer. Now, do you also intend to investigate the alleged corruption involving the former speaker going around the country and giving government funds to people, also mentioned by VP Sara in that video?
Your Honor, may I comment, Your Honor?
What is the comment of the lead prosecutor?
We are objecting to that question, Your Honor, as the same is misleading.
Your Honor, if he knows, he said he watched the whole video, he listened to the statements. There was a statement there.
Witness may answer if he knows.
Well, kung meron po mga ebidensyang pumapasok tulad ng lahat ng aming ginagawa, we are driven by evidence and the process and the law na dapat pong sundin.
All right. Now, my next question is, your wife is also a member of the House of Representatives.
That is correct po.
And she is Representative Maria.
Your Honor, with all due respect.
This is cross, Your Honor. Maybe given leeway, Your Honor.
Allow the counsel to finish the question and then you may make your objection afterwards. Finish your question, counsel for the respondent.
She is Representative Maria Rene Ann Lourdes G. Matibag. correct?
Before
I
the witness
object, Your Honor.
answers, what is the objection of the lead prosecutor?
The questions, Your Honor, of the defense with regards to the wife of the witness is totally irrelevant.
Your Honor,
And that should not be allowed.
Your Honor, these are
the,
credibility testing questions, Your Honor, which is always relevant.
The objection is overruled. It tests the freedom from bias, if any, of the witness regarding his testimony, and the chair will
Nevertheless,
allow
Your
it. Witness may answer.
Your Honor, may I just enter
there
a
was already-
continuing objection on the line of questions pertaining to the wife of the witness, Your Honor.
So noted. Witness may answer.
Opo.
All right. Now, let me direct your attention to House Resolution number 989. This is also part of the records of this case, entitled Setting Forth the Articles of Impeachment Against Vice President Sara Z. Duterte. Permission to use a pointer, Your Honor. Now, it appears that from this document
Counsel may do so.
that your wife is one of the endorsers of this House resolution. Can you confirm that?
Yes, the name is her.
It's there. Okay. Now, there's a signature page also. This document is not numbered, but it appears that it's around page 19. Can you confirm if this is your wife's signature?
I think I have no authority to confirm the signature even if she is my wife.
So you can confirm the signature of your NBI agent, but not your wife?
It's appeared to be her signature, but I have not confronted with the document so that I can compare it.
At any rate, Your Honor, may we allow?
With the NBI, it's different. I testified earlier that it was presented to me, and I asked him if he signed it, and I'm familiar to his signature because he's always making submission to my office.
All right, that's okay. At any rate, Your Honor, may we request, Your Honor, that we be allowed to submark this particular portion. Again, this is already
May we
part
request,
of the
Your
records.
Honor, that the witness be confronted first with the document, and
We
may
will
we
do that,
request
Your
as well that the assisting counsel for the prosecution be allowed to approach.
We will do
Assisting
that, Your Honor.
counsel for the respondent may please confront the witness with a document in the presence of assisting counsel for the prosecutor before counsel for respondent requests it to be marked. Witness will kindly look at the document and answer the question.
May I first manifest, Your Honor, that the document being presented to the witness is a photocopy.
Your Honor, if at all we can agree that the court's copy be submarked, Your Honor. And we request, Your Honor, that the first page that we showed and this signature page around page 16 be submarked, even at later, Your Honor, before the clerk.
It shall be done at a later time. In the meantime, by the oath of respective counsels, I believe we can rely on this copy, subject to confirmation in the marking of the actual copy that the court has.
And
Of the you're referring to the impeachment resolution on impeachment, right?
yes, Your Honor, but Your Honor, insofar as the identification of this witness, we are relying actually on the transmittal by the Committee on Justice, which was received by your office on May 11, 2026, Your Honor.
Not
So
by
it is-
my office, but by the Secretary General of the Senate. Kindly confront the witness with the document so that he may answer intelligently.
If you know only, Director
Your
Matibag.
Honor,
That is
respectfully,
the
if I may say something, if the court
Yes,
will allow me.
Director Matibag.
In order to save time and the questioning of the defense counsel, I think he's going to the position if my wife endorses the article of impeachment so that we save time and it's on record. It's a matter of public notice. Yes, my wife is one of the endorsers of the impeachment.
Duly noted. Counsel, move on.
All right, thank you for that admission, Director Matibag. And despite that spousal relationship that you admitted, you decided to appear and testify today, correct?
My decision to be a witness is by virtue of a subpoena issued by the Honorable Court and by invitation of the Committee on Justice, the prosecution. However, the job of my wife as a legislator is totally detached from me being the director of the National Bureau of Investigation.
Okay, my next question is, but the court did not issue a subpoena for you to appear today.
Actually,
Are you saying that you receive a subpoena despite this honorable court not issuing a subpoena for you?
even if there's no subpoena in the pre-trial order, I was mentioned to be a witness and I was invited by the prosecution to be a witness. And from my understanding, in the pre-trial order, I was also listed by the defense. I will be gladly witness for the defense as well if I will be called upon.
All right, but which is which? Are you appearing today by virtue of a subpoena or without a subpoena?
I'm appearing today as a witness as called upon and announced by the Honorable Court and by the invitation also of the
No, that's
prosecution.
not my question, Director Matibag. You're a lawyer, you know this. Are you appearing today by virtue of a subpoena or no subpoena?
There's no written subpoena, but there is a verbal announcement from the Honorable Court that I will be a witness in today's hearing.
Your Honor, the question of the defense is misleading. It is apparent that last week a subpoena was issued to the witness, Your Honor, and it is because of the other matters that was heard and addressed by the impeachment court. The schedule of the witness was scheduled to today.
Your Honor,
The objection is overruled. first asked and answered, and for the record and information of the senator judges, the presiding officer confirms that no subpoena was issued to Director Matibag. In fact, I asked if one was needed, and the response I got was that it was not necessary. But indeed, the chair also confirms that the name of Director Matibag was requested to be invited by the counsel by the prosecutors, and he was so named by the presiding officer to attend in I believe yesterday supposedly and today's trial dates. Move on, counsel.
Just one last question on this point. So
Counsel.
considering that there's no subpoena, I'm just wondering how it works. Did you coordinate with any of the prosecutors in relation to your appearance in today's proceedings?
Well, we conducted some meetings on this matter.
You mean prior to your appearance to this honorable court, you met with members of the prosecution?
Yes, twice when I was informed that I will be a witness on the pretrial order.
All right. Did you meet with the private prosecutors or the public prosecutors?
With the chairman of the committee, with the Congresswoman Jerry Miller.
And you are confirming in open court that you discussed or you were briefed in that meeting based in your testimony. What was the what? Okay, you can explain.
Yeah, well, I'm a lawyer and I know where you're going. There was no discussion or coaching. We just discussed matters that's supposed to be covered by my testimony. Because I'm a director, I will be testifying. Of course, they will want to know what will be the nature of my testimony. In the same way that when you want to present me as your witness, I will be more than willing to sit down with the defense counsel.
Your Honor, I take exception to that. I don't think Director Matibag knows where I'm going. In fact, I'm moving on to a new point. At any rate, Your Honor, I don't think we are calling him as a witness. So these are facts that only he assumes.
No,
And
but
we want
it
to
was-
state that for the record, Your Honor.
I speak?
Witness will not argue with the counsel. Kindly
sorry,
move
Your
on.
Honor.
Kindly move on,
Yes, sir.
counsel, for the respondent.
All right. Let's just move on, Director Matibag. The NBI is under the DOJ, correct?
That is correct.
Right. And the DOJ is under the Office of the President, correct?
That is correct.
Now, BBM, in short, BBM has control and supervision over both NBI and the... Your Honor, sorry, I am hearing comments from the prosecution. I don't mean any disrespect to the President. It's just for purposes of abbreviation, I'm just calling him BBM. But at any rate, I'll move on to my question. So BBM has control and supervision over both the NBI and the DOJ, correct?
That is not exactly correct. Only on the matter of appointments, but we enjoyed independence in the matter of investigation.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Do you confirm that you're an appointee of BBM?
Only the president who can make an appointment, I think it is provided for in the law.
What's the answer?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And so my question to you is this. Did BBM participate in the NBI's investigation in any way?
No.
No. All right. So don't you consider your appointment as NBI director as participation on the part of BBM?
No.
No. Okay. All right. You mentioned a while ago that after the affidavit of investigation, it was submitted to the DOJ for evaluation, correct?
For their evaluation and finding if there's enough reason to file a case before the regional trial court or the proper courts.
All right. And during your direct testimony, you also mentioned that as we speak, it is still pending, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Now, in other words, in terms of formal charge to be filed in court, that is still not available at this time, correct?
It's in the jurisdiction of the National Prosecution Service, which is under the Department of Justice.
But insofar as the case that the NBI filed with the DOJ, is it not the case that that charge does not include contracting for the assassination?
That is correct. What was filed was grave threat and inciting to sedition.
So in other words, at this point, VP Sara is not being made to answer for contracting for assassination, correct?
That is exactly what that my testimony covered. That she is being investigated for contracting a person to kill the president. And that is a continuing threat not only to the life of the president, but to the national security of our country.
Not responsive, Your Honor. My question is if she's already being made to answer to that particular charge.
Made to answer, counsel, meaning
Subpoenaed.
has she been subpoenaed?
I'll be more specific. Has she been subpoenaed in terms of contracting for assassination?
Well, in this impeachment court, she's being on trial, and that is very well covered by the articles. To me, as a lawyer, not only as an NBI director and as a former dean, that is a betrayal of public trust to me because she made an oath of office that she will protect, defend the Constitution, execute laws, do justice to others.
Director
and consequently
Matibag, let
to
the
self.
court intervene at this juncture. That is not responsive to the question of counsel. Kindly just answer the question. Has the NBI issued a subpoena against the Vice President with respect to the crime of contracting a killer, allegedly?
At this point, Your Honor, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Please
That-
proceed, counsel.
That's enough. So no subpoena as of now. But in other words, has there been any affidavit of investigation relating to contracting for assassination?
My understanding is there was a subpoena issued at that time during the investigation to the Vice President, and the lawyer submitted an affidavit.
No, again, not responsive, Your Honor. I'm talking about an affidavit of investigation executed by the NBI.
Not
in
yet.
terms of not yet. Okay, so at this point, would you agree with me that the DOJ has not found any basis for contracting for assassination?
Wala pa po sa
Wala
ngayon.
pa. All right. So at this point, as of today, there's simply no evidence to warrant the filing of a formal charge for contracting for assassination, correct?
That's why kung babalikan po natin yung aking testimonya, this is a continuing and an open investigation as to the contracting a killer.
So in other words, the reason why these are not present at this time because your investigation is still ongoing.
It's a case build-up and an open, active investigation.
All right. Very well. Now, you mentioned about grave threats and inciting to sedition. My question to you is, these subject matters fall under the category of felonies, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Now, in fact, based on the penalties involved as provided by law, these fall under the jurisdiction of the first level trial courts, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, moreover, for one to be declared guilty of these felonies, the burden of proof is guilt beyond reasonable doubt.
That is correct.
Now, guilt beyond reasonable doubt, is this a low threshold or a high threshold?
Beyond reasonable doubt, of course, it's a high threshold.
In fact, it is the highest threshold in
That is
criminal law,
correct.
correct? So in other words, para lang for the benefit of the Filipino people watching, so hindi ka pwedeng magsampa ng kaso nang hindi mo kayang patunayan, correct?
Tama po yun dahil meron pong Memorandum Circular number 20 ng Department of Justice kung saan sinasabi that when you file cases, there should be a reasonable certainty of conviction.
Thank you for that clarification. So if the threshold is guilt beyond reasonable, if this threshold of guilt beyond reasonable doubt is not reached, then the accused must be acquitted, correct?
Tama po yan.
And insofar as grave threats or inciting to sedition, it is the trial courts that will decide that, correct?
That is correct.
Not the DOJ.
The DOJ will submit the information and the resolution for prosecution. At the end of the day, it will be the court who will say whether it's guilty or not.
All right. Now, in your testimony earlier, you mentioned that there are leads on the alleged person that VP Sara talked to, correct?
Yes.
But let me ask you this. During that press con, did VP Sara mention the word assassin?
Wala po.
All right. Now, the investigation on these leads, are these already final?
Pakiulit po.
The investigation based on these leads that you mentioned, are these already final?
Hindi po.
Hindi pa
Malinaw po sinabi ko that this is a continuing and open investigation po.
All right. So, in other words, you haven't given any opportunity for VP Sara to confront this alleged person, correct?
Hindi pa po.
All right. But will you agree with me that confronting this alleged person is part of due process?
Tama po. Kaya mas maganda nga po kung si VP Sara mismo magsabi dito kung meron siyang kinausap at kung sino kinausap.
But is that part of the SOP also that you give an opportunity for VP Sara to confront?
Tama po. Pag natukoy na po namin kung sino ang taong kanyang kinausap, that is the time na siya po ay aming kukomprontahin para siya po ay masagot niya kung itong taong talaga ito ang kanyang kinausap para patayin ang Pangulo.
All right. My next question is very simple. So you offered your testimony before this impeachment court, even you performed SOP or giving opportunity to VP Sara to confront?
Malinaw naman po yung sinabi ko. Pag nakita po namin kung sino ang taong kinausap, saka po namin siya kukomprontahin, kasama po ang taong iyon at kasama po ang mga willing na nagbibigay ng UN Intel para harapin po ang akusasyon na yun.
So considering that you're still pursuing those leads, don't you think that your testimony today is premature?
Hindi po. Sapagkat malinaw naman po sa statement ng ating Vice Presidente na meron siyang kinausap para patayin si Bongbong Marcos, si Lisa Marcos Araneta, si Martin Romualdez at sinabi pa niya na walang biro to us sa law investigation. Applying po namin yung pong methodology na ginagamit ng Secret Service sa Amerika, ay papasok po rito na ito isang malinaw na confession ng isang tao na meron siyang isang plano na pagpatay.
Okay, I'll move on, but I'll ask you, isn't that a trial by publicity which is not sanctioned by our laws?
Hindi po. Sapagkat kaya nga po namin hindi inilalabas yung aming pong mga confidential at secret na investigation. Lamang nga po, tayo'y pinatitistigo rito na kailangan natin pong sabihin kung ano na ang naging takbo ng investigasyon. At malinaw naman po sa aking testimonya na dito sa continuing open investigation, active investigation, na kung saan meron pong mga persons of interest. At pag tinanong po natin ito sa mga nakakaunawa ng law enforcement, ganito po talaga ang practice ng law enforcement.
In fact, you mentioned during your direct testimony that you cannot give further details, correct? It's
Tama po.
classified. Okay. So, with all due respect, I'll ask this in Filipino, with all due respect to you, Director Matibag, kung hindi nyo pa po pala kayang magbigay ng detalye, bakit nyo pa po nilabas na may leads kayo in the first place?
Sapagkat gaya po ng sinabi ko, malinaw naman na yung pagsasalita ng ating Vice Presidente na siya ay kumausap ng papatay at pumayag yung papatay na patayin ang mga individual na ito, meron na pong pagkakasundo na gagawin po ang isang krimen.
Yeah, but my point is, wouldn't that prejudice your ongoing investigation that you come out here and you make statements that you already have leads?
Objection, Your Honor. That is speculative.
Witness may answer.
Kaya nga po ang dahilan na hindi ko mabanggit kung sino po yung mga persons of interest dahil doon po makukompromiso ang investigasyon na gumugulong.
Okay, at any rate, if this ongoing investigation progresses, that is the only time that a different charge will be executed against the Vice President.
Balikan ko po
Speculative,
ulit.
Your Honor.
Babalikan ko po ulit. Para po sa amin, malinaw na ang pagkontrata sa pagpapatay o ng papatay sa mga pangalang binanggit ay nandoon na. Applying the methodology ng Secret Service na binanggit ko po kanina. Ang hindi na lang po natin nakikita ay kung sino ang taong kinausap. Kaya ito po ay still open and continuing investigation.
At any rate, it's not yet final, correct?
Tama po.
All right. Now, you mentioned that the NBI is still conducting an investigation, ongoing investigation. Do you still use the video of the November 23, 2024 press con in this ongoing investigation?
Isa po ito, sabi naging batayan para po doon sa 5-point the standard na tinitingnan po namin ay amin pong matugunan.
All right. It's an almost 2-year-old video now. Do you think it's still relevant to your ongoing investigation?
Hindi po. Sapagkat hanggang sa ngayon nga, ay hindi pa natin nahanap kung sino ang taong kinausap po ng ating Vice Presidente.
Okay, very well. Attorney Matibag, do you know Mel Sabio?
Opo.
All right. Now, about 2 months ago, an old audio-video file of the two of you circulated online. By the way, we won't show that video out of respect to the party's rights, as well as I saw your wife here also, out of your family members' rights and also out of Mel Sabio's rights. I'll just ask you a few questions. This video circulated online, and you already came out in the media admitting that it was you and Mel Sabio who were involved in that video, correct?
Tama po yun. That is a private conversation sa dalawa pong magkaibigan na hindi nagkakasundo.
All right. And my only question to you is this. Did that incident demonstrate an emotional outburst on your part?
Kasama na po yun, combination na ng galit at disappointment. At ako naman po inamin ko na yan ay isang pagkakamali na akin pong tinanggap na rin at pinagsisihan.
Right. Can you recall what you said in that video?
Masama po yung aking mga sinabi. Meron pong hindi talaga kaya-aya.
Can you recall, just to give an idea of those who were not able to
I
watch?
cannot exactly recall because that was a really long time ago.
That's okay. Now, on July 10, 2026, you wrote a letter to Representative Luistro. Do you confirm this?
July 10.
July 10, 2026.
Opo.
All right.
Opo.
And in that letter, we can confront you with a hard copy, but we can also flash. In that letter, you mentioned, and I quote, "As director of the Bureau, I will personally attend to represent the NBI at this summit of director and commissioner general level law enforcement leaders across the Asia Pacific, which will require my travel and attendance on those dates." Now, those dates pertain to July 21 to 22, 2026. So today and tomorrow. Do you confirm this?
Opo.
All right. Now, in that letter, there was a prior letter to that, correct? Which you received from FBI Director Kash Patel.
Tama po.
Do you personally know Kash Patel?
Hindi po, pero hindi po siya personal kong kilala.
All right. And did you inform him at any point that you're a lawyer?
Hindi ko po alam kung alam niya na abogado.
Okay. That's interesting because in the letter, and I'll use my pointer again, he referred to you as Dear Director Attorney Matibag. Which in this record was submitted to this honorable court through the prosecution on July 13, 2026. Now, just a manifestation, this now forms part of the records of this case. Are you friends or did he just research about your being a lawyer?
Ganito po kasi ang nangyari dyan. Meron pong high value target. One of the top 10 most wanted. Si Henry Kimball, ang pangalan po niya, who scammed the government about 2.8 billion. Number 2 po siya sa 10 most wanted. And we have a coordination meeting with our local counterpart ng US Embassy na FBI station in Manila, si Ma'am Courtney, asking for our help for the extradition of this person who happens to have a problem in the court in Makati. They were expecting na ito pong taong ito ay matagal pa bago ma-extradite sa kanila. Lumapit po sa atin sa NBI at dahil natulungan po natin na yung inaakala nilang buwan ang lilipas bago ma-extradite, inatulungan po natin sila sa loob ng 2 araw ay na-extradite po. Kung kaya nung na-extradite po, ito pong si Henry Kimball, ako po ay tinawagan ni Ma'am Courtney ng FBI nang siya nasa Amerika at sinabi na nagpapasalamat. Katunayan po, nagpadala po ng letter of gratitude ang FBI. At yung pong pag-attend ko sa Bangkok, hindi naman po basta lang ako attend doon sa conference. There was an opportunity on the side na magkaroon po kami ng pagpupulong po ng personal ni Director Kash Patel.
Yeah.
Kaya po, gusto ko sana makadalo doon.
Thank you for that clarification. Anyway, I'm just asking because the schedule of the court actually changed or was altered because of this letter. Just a few questions on this. Now, upon perusal of this letter, it appears na sinulatan kayo na diretso ni Director Kash Patel and walang address yung NBI. It just says Manila. Do you confirm the receipt of this letter?
It was sent through an email
Through
po.
email. Okay. Now, of course, before you wrote Representative Luistro, you first confirmed your attendance with FBI Director Patel. Am I right?
Wala pa po na confirmation. Dahil malinaw naman po, sinasabi ko nga po kay Congressman Luistro na 2 event siya na magkasabay. Sayang yung opportunity na maaari kong makausap yung FBI director sapagkat it's very rare that an FBI director will talk to an NBI director.
Yeah. Oh.
So sinabi ko na baka naman pwede na mas mapaaga kung pwede lang at kung makikita naman po doon sa liham ko, respectfully I'm requesting. Pero lininaw ko po kay Congressman Luistro na 2 event yan at in order of priority, ang aking pong priority ang tumistigo po dito po sa impeachment court. At sabi ko naman, pinabot ko po through Ma'am Courtney that probably we can arrange another day na magkausap po kami ni Director Kash Patel.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. At any rate, you're admitting that before you wrote Representative Luistro, hindi pa final yung confirmation mo dito kay Director?
Meron na pong arrangement.
May
Pero
arrangement
alam
na.
po nila na ako'y magtitistigo. So kung malilipat po, that is the only time na ako po ay pupunta sa Bangkok po.
No, I'm talking about may confirmation na kayo ni Director Kash Patel before you wrote. Luis Ro, wala pa.
There was already an invitation and information channeled to their local representative, si Ma'am Courtney po.
Ma'am, sino yun, ma'am?
Siya po si Courtney, siya po yung
I
FBI
see.
representative
Okay.
dito.
At any rate, my question is, do you maintain that this is an official invitation from FBI
Yes.
Kash Patel?
Opo.
Alright.
Katunayan, meron pong dumalo ngayon doon, yung pong aming representative ng IOD.
And it's also director or commissioner level.
Ano po, siya po ay division level po.
Are you at liberty to disclose the name? Or?
Yes, opo, Attorney Chris Hernandez.
Nandun siya sa Bangkok ngayon?
Nandun po siya ngayon.
Would you know kung si Director Kash Patel nag-attend dun sa Bangkok ngayon or nag-cancel din siya?
Hindi ko po alam. I
Ay,
have to get the information.
All right. Now, just one last manifestation, Your Honor. Again, these documents comprising of 3 documents, June 24, July 10, and July 13, were introduced by the prosecution and then are now part of the records of this case. If I may be allowed to proceed, Your Honor. Now, I'll show you one last graphic and then I'll ask you a couple of questions thereafter. Can we show the graphic? All right. So, this is from the Daily Tribune.
Your Honor, please.
No question yet, Your Honor.
Yes,
Let counsel
but
finish with his question,
All right.
and then the lead prosecutor may make her objection.
All right. This is from the Daily Tribune. Okay. And this is the entitled Public Trust Rating. I'll just focus on the green, not the red. No, but Vice President Sara Duterte, it says they're 57%. And this was conducted by the Social Weather Station's SWS survey. Okay. Now, my question to you is this. You mentioned that you have an ongoing investigation. Do materials like this, insofar as how Filipino people view or trust VP Sara, have an effect in your investigation?
objection,
Before
Your
the
Honor.
witness answers, lead prosecutor is recognized for objection. What is the basis of the objection?
Your Honor, the defense is showing a picture of the president and the vice president with a certain rating at the bottom. This has no relevance at all, Your Honor, with respect to the subject matter of this impeachment trial.
I think he has.
And we are objecting to the presentation of this picture, Your Honor.
I think it has. Just a short rejoinder, Your Honor.
Kindly allow the lead prosecutor. Are you done, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Just a short rejoinder, Your Honor.
Attorney Vinloan is
The
recognized.
witness mentioned the term betrayal of public trust. And we can run the TSN back. Your Honor, of course, we're allowed, this is cross-examination, we're allowed to present controverting evidence to that statement.
The chair will allow the witness to answer despite that there is no date when this survey was taken. Kindly answer if you know, Director Matibag.
Gladly, Mr. Presiding Officer. Alam niyo po, survey yan. And all of us know, or for the information of the public, a survey is just a snapshot of something. It doesn't necessarily follow na yung survey na yan is kumbaga nakataga na sa bato. Pangalawa po, may mandato po ang NBI. We cannot be swayed by public opinion o kaya po ng aming personal na opinion. Kami po ay nag-iimbestiga, nababatay sa batas, nababatay sa proseso, at nababatay po sa ating itinakdang mandato base po sa pagtatatag ng NBI.
So the short answer to my question is no, it doesn't affect.
No, it
All
will
right.
not.
Okay. I mentioned Daily Tribune. You write editorials for the Daily Tribune, correct?
Tama po, long time ago po.
Long time ago. And in 2024, you wrote at least 3 editorials about VP Sara. Is that, can you recall?
Mari po, mayroon po akong mga sinulat tungkol
Alright.
kay Vice President.
I'm showing you these, no, not that one, the editorials, all right, from the Daily Tribune. And we have copies, hard copies that you can refer to. But it says here, Director Belvin Matibag. Do you confirm that it is you who authored these editorials?
Yes.
All right. Now, I'm showing you the first one entitled Inday Sara, the Bratinela, dated September 12, 2024. Do you confirm that you wrote this editorial?
That's correct in my opinion column.
All right. And you also wrote, the Bratinella is a flat spare tire, dated October 24, 2024. Do you confirm this?
Yes.
All right. And you also wrote, Bratinella, Sara, and her bad habits, dated November 7, 2024. Do you confirm this?
Yes.
And in these editorials, you shared your opinions against VP Sara. Is that correct?
Well, unang-una po, siguro dun sa title na Bratinella, that is not my original. In fact, kaya ko po nasulat yan, yan ang mismong naririnig ko nang kami magkakasama nila dating Pangulong Duterte nang tawag niya kay Inday Sara ay Bratinella.
Alright, so my only question is, before you testified today, there were already instances in the past that you shared your public opinions against VP Sara.
Well, that is a opinion column.
Alright.
At meron po tayong mga pinagbabasihan dyan.
Okay, in fact, let me read one line from your editorial. It says there, as Inday Sara is being unmasked in the legislative inquiries and by her own mouth as an ill-bred Bratinella, her public trust crumbles. You confirm that you included this statement in your editorial?
Yan po yung nakasulat.
All right. And despite this position and the recent surveys show that VP Sara was even gained positive trust rating, as shown earlier, positive 57. Do you confirm this?
Well, again, I'm saying na nung sinulat ko po yan, that is my opinion as an opinion writer.
All right. Now, despite this positive trust rating by VP Sara, do you still maintain that, and I quote, her public trust crumbles?
Well, para sa akin po, na ako yung NBI director, palagi ko po hindi po material itong ating pinag-uusapan sapagkat sabi ko nga, ang ating po pag-iimbestiga ay nababase sa batas, nababase sa ebidensya at prosesong nandoon na nang ako'y dumating po bilang NBI director.
All right. One last question on this before I let this point go. So considering the positive trust rating of VP Sara, can one really say that she betrayed public trust?
Magkaiba po yan.
Speculative, Your Honor.
Can we get a ruling, Your Honor?
Witness is knowledgeable enough to answer. He can handle himself. Director Matibag, you may answer.
Magkaiba po yan. Again, I'm saying, and I'm sure marami rin po rito nakakaalam na umaasa sa mga survey. A survey is just a snapshot of what's happening. It doesn't necessarily follow na pagka yun ang lumabas, ay yun na yung totoo. Pangalawa, pagka po ating pinagbasihan ang popularidad, ang ibig sabihin po ba nito, ang isang pinakakilala at popular na tao pwede nang gumawa ng krimen at hindi natin papapanagutin?
Your Honor, at this point, Your Honor, the defense is constrained to ask for a continuance, and we have our grounds therefore. Number one, Your Honor, the testimony of Director Matibag earlier consisted of a lot of new topics, and it is we believe that it is the right of the respondent to intelligently cross-examine him on those topics. Again, Your Honor, those topics are not included in the articles of impeachment and are considered new. In fact, Your Honor, as earlier stated, we feel that these new topics are a violation of the respondent's right to be promptly and fully apprised of the exact charges against her. So we will need time, Your Honor, to go through those new materials and new points. Secondly, Your Honor, during direct examination, a document, a 100-page document was introduced and allowed by this court. And that document is unsigned and unnotarized. And we feel like for us to intelligently cross-examine the witness on this document that he mentioned, we need that there's a need. We feel that there's a need for a continuance, Your Honor.
What
With all
does the
due
lead
respect,
prosecutor
Your
say?
With all due respect, Your Honor, we object to the motion for continuance of the defense. The defense already started and propounded a lot of cross-examination questions to the witness, and the witness is simply answering completely, accurately, the questions which are being raised and propounded to him. We do not understand, Your Honor, why they will move for continuance after already raising a lot of questions to the witness, Your Honor. We would like, Your Honor, the defense to finish the cross-examination today. And if the impeachment court will still allow, we will immediately proceed to redirect after the cross-examination, Your Honor. With all due respect to our honorable senator judges.
The objection of the lead prosecutor is noted. However, this is the first time that any counsel for the parties is asking for a continuance. The chair is inclined to grant it and will so grant it as well, should the counsel for the prosecutors or the lead prosecutor or panel of prosecutors require it at some point in time in this trial or hearing. But let it not be the rule, or let it not be a habit on the part of either counsel for the parties to do so, to ask for a continuance. But at this time, the chair will grant a continuance requested by the defense. And in the meantime, since it's only 5:55, with the indulgence of our senator judges, we may proceed to the interjections and interventions of the senator judges.
One last point, Your Honor, before the interjections.
Before recognizing the senator judges, yes, what is the pleasure of Attorney Binlon?
Your Honor, considering that the witness introduced, as I said, a lengthy document, can we ask for a copy of the Las Cañas material that he
The
provided?
chair already earlier ordered that, I believe. During the interregnum, the prosecutors are directed to kindly furnish the counsel for respondents with a copy of the, I believe, over an inch or little less than 2 inches of affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas. So ordered. Chair will now recognize, prior to Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, earlier Senator Judge Villanueva indicated his desire to interject or make interventions. Thereafter, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Thereafter, Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros. You have 2 minutes, sir, and you may proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Presiding Officer, before I ask some questions, I can see that my time is already running. Let me just ask a procedural inquiry, Mr. Presiding Officer. And respectfully, this representation seek the guidance of the court on a procedural matter. Because earlier today, I heard our witness who made mention several times that the investigation is still ongoing. It's a continuing investigation. May we know, Mr. Presiding Officer, in this particular aspect of the NBI's investigation that remains ongoing, just for the guidance of this representation, and I'm sure for the guidance of both parties, kung matatapos na po yung investigasyon o yung presentation of evidence dito po sa Article 4 at magkakaroon po ng significant development na maaari pong material sa atin pong proceedings, ano po ang tamang proseso para maipabatid at kung kinakailangan maiharap po ito sa impeachment court, considering na isasara na po itong presentation of evidence sa Article 4.
Senator Judge Villanueva, sa rule, the court is a passive body. Hindi panghihimasukan ng husgado kung ano man ang pwede, balak o gustong gawin ng magkabilang partido, prosecution man o sa hanay ng respondent, kung mangyari man yun. And the court will not speculate with respect to that hypothetical situation should it arise, lest we be accused of prejudging or deciding certain matters for the parties that they should be the one deciding should that happen.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer. And in fact, I would suggest na kung maaari ay i-consider, because we feel that the suppletory application of the revised rules of court under Rule 6, most directly po doon sa Section 24, Rule 119 of the Rules of Criminal Procedure, provides, and I quote, "At any time before finality of the judgment of conviction, the judge may motu proprio or upon motion with hearing in either case reopen the proceedings to avoid a miscarriage of justice." Close quote. So just to put on record, Mr. Presiding Officer, na ito po yung magiging proper procedure. Marami pong salamat.
That is an option that the court may take, as the rule itself suggests. But at this juncture, the presiding officer would rather leave it to the parties, given that this is an adversarial proceeding, and the parties should know what they should do for the interest of their respective clients.
Thank
You may
you.
proceed, sir, with your questions. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Thank you, Mr. President. Just one question to our witness, Director Matibag, for the benefit of the court and this representation. Maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag kung paano ini-evaluate po ng National Bureau of Investigation ang isang aligasyon na ang isang tao ay nag-utos o kumontrata ng iba upang magsagawa ng isang krimen. Bilang bahagi po ng inyong investigasyon, tinukoy po ba ninyo kung ang ganito pong aligasyon ay maaaring pumasok sa mga umiiral na probisyon ng ating revised penal code o iba pang special penal laws? Director Matibag, I'd like to ask this question because I believe, I don't know if you would agree with me, that the Bureau's role is to determine whether the facts may actually give or the facts may give rise to a criminal liability under our penal laws. Now, the constitutional function of this court, however, is different. We are not sitting as a criminal court to determine guilt beyond reasonable doubt. Rather, we are called upon to determine whether the respondents' alleged acts constitute impeachable offenses, including betrayal of public trust. So magkaiba po yung binabanggit natin na criminal liability at constitutional accountability. Hindi po lahat ng maaaring maging batayan ng impeachment ay kailangan tumutumbas sa isang krimen, sapagkat ang impeachment ay hindi naman po usapin lamang ng paglabag sa batas, kundi hindi paglabag sa tiwalang ipinagkakaloob ng taong bayan. Ano pong masasabi niyo dito, Mr. Witness?
Your Honor, tama po yun. Doon po sa uling sinabi ninyo na hindi naman nangangahulugan na kung may krimen na nangyari, ito ay impeachable offense. Pero ilagay po natin sa pangyayaring to, kaya naman po, yung pong investigasyon doon sa grave threat at doon po sa inciting to sedition, malinaw po ito na napapaloob sa revised penal code. E yun naman po pag-iimbestiga at paghahanap doon sa taong kinausap para pumatay, hindi po ito napapaloob sa revised penal code dahil yung pong pagpaplano ng pagpatay ay hindi naman po pinaparusahan yan kung hindi nga nagawa. Subalit doon na po papasok yung sinasabi nga natin na meron pong sinasabi na sa impeachment, tinitingnan po at para sa akin nga, yung betrayal of public trust, dito po papasok. Bakit po? Dahil meron po siyang sinumpaang tungkulin. Doon po mismo sa kanyang oath of office bilang Vice President, sinabi niya that protect and defend the Constitution, execute the laws, do justice to everyone, and consecrate herself to protect the nation. Pero doon po sa sinabing execute the laws, dito po natin nakikita, hindi po execute the laws yung pag-usap ng papatay. That is to execute the president. Kaya doon po papasok yung magkaiba na betrayal of public trust.
Naintindihan ko po yung binabanggit nyo, yung role ninyo na limitado doon sa criminal investigation at yung findings po ninyo, hindi po, again, I think binabanggit nyo nga po, hindi po ibig sabihin ay impeachable offense kaagad-agad.
Tama po.
And again, that's why I'm putting into the records na this is not a criminal proceeding but an impeachment proceeding. Last but not the least, no, dun sa binanggit po ninyo, there is a difference between saying that an individual has not yet been identified and saying also that no such individual exists. So, ang una, nangangahulugan na
Mayroon.
nagpapatuloy pa po yung Bureau sa pagberipika at pagbavalidate ng impormasyong mayroon ito. Sa ikalawa naman po ay isang konklusyon na matapos ang isang investigasyon. Director Matibag, maaari po ba ninyong ipaliwanag yung kahalagahan ng distinction na ito sa point of view of the NBI sa inyong pag-iimbestiga?
Doon na po natin dihiwalay.
Before the witness answers, kindly wind up after
Yes.
that question, Senator Judge Joel. Witness may answer.
Yes.
Doon nga po natin inihiwalay yung investigasyon na nangyari doon sa grave threat at inciting to sedition. Pumasok na po tayo doon sa pag-iimbestiga kung saan hinahanap natin yung kinausap. At bakit po tayo naniniwala na may kinausap? Sapagkat doon sa pronouncement po mismo ng Vice Presidente na may kinausap siya at pumayag. Ang naging basehan nga po dito yung aking pong testimonya kanina na yung 5-point field po na pinagbabasihan ng National Threat Assessment Center na ginagamit po ng Secret Service po ng Amerika.
Okay po. Siguro hilingin ko na lang, Mr. Presiding Officer, at sa ating witness, kung matapos po yung inyong ongoing at sinasabi niyo nga pong continuing investigation, ay ma-inform lang din po ang korting ito. Maraming salamat, Your Honors, Mr. Presiding
Thank you, Senator Judge Villanueva. Senator Judge Tulfo Rafi is recognized for his interjections and interventions. You have 2 minutes, sir, for your questions. You may proceed when you're ready.
Mr. Witness, are you familiar with the case of Ronel Mas?
Opo, napanood ko po yan.
At that time, hindi pa kayong NBA director or not connected to NBA whatsoever. So, tell us briefly dito sa kaso ni Ronel Mas.
Sa pagkaalala ko po rito, itong si Ronel Mas ay isang guro na kung saan siya ay nagsabi na kung sino ang papatay sa dating Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ay papabiyaan niya ng 50 million. At sa pagkakaalala ko po, ang National Bureau of Investigation rin po ang tumugis at tumuli sa kanya, particularly po ang aming pong opisina sa Region 1. At siya po ay kinasuhan po ng pagbabanta at itinuring po na ang threat niya ay isang malaking threat po. Hindi lamang sa dating Pangulo kundi po sa ating pong national security.
In other words, pinalan siya ng case ng inciting to sedition. And he was arrested warrantless. It was a warrantless arrest, right?
Tama po.
Okay, so isang guro nagbanta sa dating Pangulo, agad-agad inaresto ng walang warrant. Now, itong yung VP Sara, si Vice President Sara Duterte, na nagbanta rin kay Pangulong Duterte at kay Pangulong Marcos. Anong difference ng dalawa?
Well, ang pagkakaiba po nila, itong si Rene Mas ay isang guro, si Vice President, isa naman pong Vice President, at siguro po ito ang naging konsiderasyon kung bakit hindi siya inaresto agad.
So, ibig sabihin ng NBI pala ay tumitingin sa tinatawag na special treatment.
I cannot
So, ibig
speak.
sabihin hindi pala patas sa NBI. Bakit nung panahon ni Pangulong Duterte, isang guro na nagsabi may patong sa ulo na 50 million si dating Pangulong Duterte, kung sino man makapagpapatay sa kanya, agad-agad inaresto ng walang warrant of arrest. And then ito naman si VP Sara na sabi nyo, allegedly nagbigay ng death threat against President Marcos at hindi inaresto.
I cannot speak for the NBI at that time, Your Honor, sapagkat yung mga pangyayari pong yan, wala naman ako sa NBI pa po. Subalit, ang maaari ko pong ibahagi sa inyo, ipamarapatin po ninyo, yun na nga pong aking pakikipagtalastasan sa aming pong mga foreign counterparts na akin din na pag-aralan at sinasabi nila na sa kanilang jurisdiction, kung merong isang pagbabanta na ginawa ng Vice Presidente, ay maaaring agad na ikulong at matanggal kaagad po sa pwesto. Pero again, respectfully, I cannot speak for the NBI noon po at saka yung pangyayari po noon po.
Okay, ano ibig sabihin po ni para sa inyo, Mayor Baste, nung sinabi niya sa isang Rage Coalition gathering, isang ulo lang naman ang kailangan namin at ang ulo ni BBM or Bongbong Marcos. What does it mean to you?
Well, kagaya po ng aking naging testimonya, itrinato po namin ito na isang threat sa isang banta sa ating Pangulo that transcends also to a threat to our national security.
So is it the same as saying may patong sa ulo ang isang tao, like a reward, whoever can capture this person, dead or alive or something to that effect?
It could be that way or it can be in many ways, pero ang sa amin po, ang namin naging interpretasyon nga dyan, isinama po namin ito sa maraming banta sa seguridad ng ating Pangulo at sa seguridad po ng ating
So again,
bansa.
kung tinuturing yung threat, itong salita na binitiwan ni Baste or Mayor Baste Duterte against President Bongbong Marcos, anong difference niyan dun sa binigay naman na threat ni yung teacher na si Ronel Mas kay dating Pangulong Duterte?
Yung pong naging banta ni Mayor Basti Duterte ay ipinasok po natin sa mas maaba pang pagsusuri, kaya po isinama natin ito po doon sa ating continuing threat assessment po.
So why was he not arrested? Tulad na nangyari sa teacher na si Ronel Mas.
Ang warrantless arrest po kasi, kagaya na nangyari kay Ronel Mas dahil naging warrantless of arrest, siya po ay na-dismiss ang kaso. So yan din po yung iniingatan namin na kung kami ay gagawa ng warrantless arrest, ay maaari pong ma-dismiss ang kaso. Ngayon po, kasama po yan sa case build-up namin na maaaring magdulot po ng pagpapile po ng nararapat po na kaso.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Risa Ontiveros is recognized. You may proceed, ma'am, when you're ready, and you have 2 minutes.
Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer. Mr. Witness, nung nakaraang hearing po, paulit-ulit na binabanggit ang pangalan ni Princess Maui. Sino po ba yung taong yan? Background po niya, profile po niya?
Sa pagkakalam ko, isa po siyang vlogger.
Ano pong background niya? Paano siya naging vlogger?
Well, base po dun sa patuloy na pagmamonitor, siya po ay isang kritiko na madalas nagbablog at nagpo-promote po ng yung pong tinatawag natin at alam naman ng lahat na DDS po.
I see. And ano po yung bukod doon na vlogger siya dun sa panig na iyon? Meron pa bang ibang profile itong Princess Maui bilang vlogger?
Katunayan po, I was informed that she or he was invited to the NBI pero hindi po siya dumalo. At yan po ay kasama rin po sa patuloy na sinusubaybayan po ng ating pong Cybercrime Division po.
Alright, salamat po. Ngayon, nabanggit rin po yung Oplan Romanov. Sabi po ni Attorney Lotok, ang alam niya ay banta ito sa presidente at pamilya nila na nagmula kay Mayor Sebastian Duterte. Sa kabilang banda, ayon naman kay Princess Maui, ay banta daw po yan sa buhay ni Vice Presidente at pamilyang Duterte. Pareho po ba yang iniimbestigahan ng NBI?
Ang alam ko po, na-cover na po ng NBI noon yung investigasyon dun sa aligasyon na yung Oplan Romanov ay banta sa Vice Presidente dahil nagpadala nga po ng subpoena kay Princess Maui at kay Vice President. Subalit, fortunately, hindi po yata sila dumali dyan. Pero nung yan po aming sinusuri din, yung binabanggit nyo po na Romanov, I think that was the January 18, 2024 na pahayag po ni Mayor Baste Duterte na kung saan na sinabi niya, let me tell you this, Mr. Bongbong Marcos, hindi ko lang po man yung exact words, but I remember that before you go to sleep, remember the Romanovs and the Mussolinis and what happened to the Marcos family in 1986. Yung po yung nakita natin na isa na naglilink po dyan sa Romanov. Kaya recently, narinig ko rin po yung dating director na sinasabi niya ng Oplan Romanov ay tunay na banta sa pamilya ng mga Marcoses at hindi po kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
So, base po sa investigasyon ng NBI, ang Oplan Romanov po ba ay banta nga sa buhay ng presidente o sa buhay ng Vice Presidente?
Your Honor, yan po ay kasama pa rin sa aming tinutukoy po ngayon. Kaya po meron kaming task force, kasama po yan sa aming continuing na surveillance at active investigation po.
May actionable intelligence po ba ang NBI na posibleng patuloy pa rin ang panganib sa buhay ng presidente dun sa linyang iyon ng inyong investigasyon?
Tama po yan, sapagkat binanggit ko nga po kanina yung ginagamit sa National Threat Assessment Center po ng Secret Service ng Amerika, pumapasok po doon yung mga obserbasyon na yan. At katunayan po, lalo pang lumawig o lumawak yung mga banta sa presidente, namin pong namomonitor. Pati po mga ordinaryong tao ngayon, ay napakadali po na magbigay ng banta. At para sa amin po, hindi lang naman po yung banta sa ating Pangulo ang aming binabantayan, kundi yung pong bantayan natin ang kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan at isiguraduhin natin na ang democratic process po ay umiiral sa atin base sa atin pong konstitusyon po.
At sa kabilang banda naman po, may actionable intelligence din po ba ang NBI na may totoong banta sa buhay naman ng Vice Presidente?
Sa ngayon po, hindi po namin tinitingnan kung totoong may actionable intel. Pero base po sa aming mandato, kasama po sa mandato namin na proteksyonan po ang seguridad ng Pangulo, ng Vice Presidente, ng Senate President, ng Speaker of the House at Chief Justice. Kaya kung wala man pong task force, tuloy-tuloy naman po ang aming pong pagpamonitor dito.
Pero sa ngayon, kung isusuma po natin, may actionable intelligence na may patuloy na panganib sa buhay ng presidente pero wala pang actionable intelligence na may banta din naman sa buhay ng vice-presidente.
Malinaw po yun sapagkat lumabas lang naman po yun doon sa sinasabi nitong si Princess Maui.
Salamat po, Mr. Witness. Salamat po, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rizon Tiveros. Next to interject and make his interventions would be our Senate President, Sherwin Gatchalian. He is recognized. You have 2 minutes, sir. You may proceed when you're ready.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer. Tama po ba, Director Matibag, na after 1 year and 8 months, wala pang nakikita ang NBI na nakontratang papatay?
Wala po pong specific na personalidad.
Wala pang specific na nakikita.
Apo.
Pero kanina narinig ko sa inyong testimonya na may sinabi kayong hindi banta kundi isang plano talaga. So may plano.
Yun po ang base sa mismong pahayag ng ating pong Vice Presidente na siya ay may kinausap at yung kinausap niya ay pumayag para patayin po ang mga taong nabanggit. Para sa akin po, this is actually a public confession na dahil sa sinabi niyang ito, nalagay po sa alanganin hindi lamang po ang seguridad ng presidente kundi po ang ating pambansang seguridad.
Sino ang kaplano niya? Kung kung magpaplano, obviously may kasama siya sa pagpaplano. Sino na ang natukoy ng NBI na kasama sa pagpaplano?
Yan na po yung binabanggit namin na persons of interest based on the open source intel and the human intel po na ibinabato po sa amin. Na yan po ay reported po sa atin ng ating pong task force na itinayo po.
Itong persons of interest kasama sa pagpaplano at inamin sa inyo na mayroong pagpaplanong ginagawa para pumatay.
Meron po silang impormasyon na magtuturo po dito sa pagpaplanong ito
Hindi
po.
sila yung kasama sa pagpaplanong pumatay.
Sa ngayon po, doon po,
Magtuturo lang sila.
doon po sa iba persons of interest, meron po kaming kinukonsidera doon na maaaring siya po ang kausap mismo ng Vice
And anong
Presidente.
ebidensya ang magpapatuloy na kasama siya sa pagpaplano o kaya niyang ituro yung pagpaplano?
Yan po ang ating kukunin na impormasyon pa sa atin pong mga persons of interest na ating pong sinusurveillance. Katunayan po as we speak, tuloy-tuloy po yung ating pakikipag-usap. Pati po doon sa mga malalapit sa taong aking pong binabanggit.
Okay,
na
so
persons of
tuloy-tuloy pa
interest.
ngayon ang inyong investigation.
Tama po.
Ngayon, nakita ko na bumuo kayo ng task force. No? At task force, temporary in nature lang yan, di ba? Kailan matatapos ang inyong investigasyon? Dahil nga nasabi ko, 1 year and 8 months na ito. Ngayon may bagong task force. So kailan matatapos itong investigation?
Ito po ay matatapos finally pag atin pong na-locate specifically ang taong kausap ng Vice Presidente. At ito naman pong task force, bukod po sa seguridad ng Presidente, we are also guarding po na walang gulo, na yung pong mga destabilization ay atin din pong
Hindi, pero
mabantayan.
kailan matatapos yung investigation para matukoy kung sino yung nakontrata?
Only in the time po na atin pong matukoy na finally yung atin pong...
Kailan nga yun? Do you have a time
I ca-
frame?
I cannot-
Base doon sa pag-uusap nyo dito sa persons of interest nyo, kailan? Kasi like I said, no, November of 2024 to, may bagong task force ngayon. But in your opinion, no, gusto ko kasi malaman, malapit na ba o malayo pa?
I cannot give the exact time, but the task force was established on April 16 and it's doing a great progress po. So sa palagay ko po, malapit na rin natin itong mahanap itong taong ating pong
Can you give
tinutukoy.
me an explanation on yung great, quote-unquote, great progress?
Marami pong report na pumasok po sa atin at may mga pangalan po talaga na na-identify natin pong pinupuntahan po.
And can you give me a time frame kung within 3 months, 6 months, matutukoy na itong kakontrata?
As
Can
we
you
look
give me a
at
time frame? An
as-
indicative time frame?
as we go on to the progress, probably po within the 3 to 6 months magkakaroon po tayo
Magkakaroon-
mas malinaw po na data tungkol po dito.
But in 3 to 6 months, matutukoy na natin yung kakontrata.
Yun po ang ating inaasahan.
In the meantime, nasabi nyo kanina na mayroong kinetic force. No, ito ay ina-assume ko na may nai-impluwensyahan. Sino na ho ang nakausap nyo na na-impluwensyahan tungkol dito sa mga sinasabi nitong mga sinasabi ng Vice President at yung iba pa?
May mga ilan na po kaming pinuntahan at katunayan may ilan na po kaming sinampahan na rin ng mga kaso at yung pong mga nagbanta through social media ay atin na rin pong nakausap At yung iba naman po ay sa ngayon ay kasalukuyang humaharap po sa investigasyon po.
So, last question. So itong dahil sa kanilang pananalita, nagkaroon ng kinetic force at na-influensyahan ito. At base sa inyong paano niyo nasabi na influensyahan itong mga taong ito?
Kagaya po nung aming mga nakausap, malinaw din po that they're always targeting the head of the president. May correlate po natin doon sa statement mismo ng mayor at ng ating pong vice presidente po.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. Will Senator Judge Allen make an interjection or will he make a manifestation regarding another matter? Then the presiding officer will first recognize Senator Judge Aquino for his interjections and interventions. You may proceed, sir, when you're ready. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Very quickly lang, Director Matibag. Kapag sinasabi kasing bukas pa ang isang investigasyon, posibleng meron, posibleng wala. Diba? Pero ito po, just one question. Sa inyo pong professional assessment, anong porsyento, what percentage is the probability na meron ngang nakausap na tao ang Vice Presidente para gawin yung mga pagpatay sa inyo pong assessment? Hindi nyo pa po masasabi, may kailangan pa kayong ilang buwan, pero sa inyong assessment po ba, anong porsyento po na meron talagang nakausap ang Vice President?
Base po mismo sa pahayag ng Vice Presidente, nakasisiguro po na mayroong kinausap.
Anong percentage po? 70%?
100% po, sapagkat siya na mismo ang nagsabi ng kanyang plano na siya ay may kinausap ng papatay at pumayag yung papatay sa kanilang pag-uusap.
Okay, maraming salamat, Mr. Presiding Officer.
Senator Judge Cayetano Allen is recognized for his interjections.
Before that, on the same point of Senator Bam, may I just manifest that I have submitted, Presiding Officer, Mr. Senate President, written continuing objection to the ruling on the Presiding Officer dated 20 July 2026 on the subpoena. But according to the journal service, it will not be included in the journal. May I move that it be included in the records? In the records, whatever is more convenient for everyone.
It will definitely be in the record and transcript, Your Honor. We will see what we can do about the journal. Can we get back to you?
Yes.
Because there's a technical difficulty. I
We were
believe.
just under the impression na until today. That's why hinabol ko ng 531. Then nilagay ko na lang possible supplemental. But whatever is more convenient for the clerk of court.
The chair will entertain a motion to reconsider the approval of the journal earlier so that we can include this in the journal and then approve it. If you would like to make that motion, Your Honor.
Well, may I move that we reconsider approval of journal just so that we can include what we agreed on yesterday, which is the written objection.
There is a motion to reconsider the approval of the journal of yesterday, July 20, 2026, in order to include as part of the journal the written manifestation of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano, as we have done so with respect to Senator Judges Villanueva, Marcos, Go, Villar, Camille, and Legarda. Absent any objections, the motion is approved. Journal is reconsidered. And the insertion of the manifestation of the Honorable Cayetano is so included, so ordered.
Thank you, dear colleagues.
Would you like to complete the process and move for the approval of the journal now?
We move
Senator
the
Judge
approval with the amendment, not an insertion.
The journal is approved as amended by inserting the manifestation of Senator Judge Alan Cayetano. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the same is approved, sans the reading of the same.
Mr. Presiding Officer, just
Yes,
one
what is the
point.
pleasure
Just
of,
to make a
Senator
manifestation.
Judge Villanueva?
Yes, Mr. President. It's that, I just wanted to put on record that this representation is not objecting to the ruling of the chair yesterday, and that the only reason why I wanted to put into the records my manifestation with regard to the ruling of the chair, just to put on record. Thank you.
Duly noted. Senator Judge Cayetano may proceed with his interjections. He has 2 minutes. You may proceed, sir, when you're ready.
Good afternoon, Mr. Witness, Director, Attorney Matibag, schoolmate.
Good afternoon, sir, Your Honor.
Yeah, just on that point ni Senator Bam, I understand as a law enforcer, as an investigator, you have to take all threats seriously. I'll ask you the same questions I asked the two NBI officers, and I do understand they were not under your supervision during that time dahil dun pa sila kay Director Santiago. No? I won't ask all the questions, but yung you did review the whole video or just the portions relevant to the statement of the Vice President na no joke, yung November 23?
Your Honor, napanood ko po yung video, but you're correct. I focus mainly on the issue that is being
So
undertaken.
simple question. Paano naging process kung anong parts ng video at ng statement niya ang paniniwalaan mo or ng task force? So it's not personal. I mean, if you were in the task force or as you said, you created the task force now at duty nyo yung safety ng high government officials, anong process nyo kung anong parts ng video ang paniniwalaan nyo at hindi? Ng statements niya, what I meant.
Well, ang ginawa po natin dyan, doon po mismo sa konteksto ng kanyang sinabi na humanap siya ng papatay at inutos niya na papatayin ang 3 individual at yun po ay pumayag yung papatay at sinabi pa niya no joke, doon pa lamang po ay pong nakita yung pong ating hinahanap po na mga pwede niyang pananagutan po sa batas.
Well, as an appointee of this government, as a lawyer, as an NBI director, I see your point and I get that. But what I meant is that before that statement, sabi kasi niya, kung papatayin ako, I mean, the record will bear out naman yung eksaktong sinabi niya. No? So this is my paraphrase. But ang pagkaintindi ko sa sinabi niya, kung papatayin ako, eto yung 3 papatayin mo. And ang impression ko, pinagbibintangan niya yung 3 na may plot against her. So, yun ang tanong ko dun sa 2 previous NBI directors. If you're gonna believe that she contracted or talked to, may kausap, no? Siya, if you're gonna believe that may kausap siya at papapatay yung 3, will you not believe the previous nung sinabi niyang kung ako naman ang papatayin?
Hindi po ganoon sapagkat ang tinignan na nga po natin ay yung kanyang mismong pagbabanta. At sa amin po sa ngayon yung aking pong task force na nag-iimbestiga ay malinaw po na ang tinitingnan ay kung ano na ang nangyari dahil doon sa pagbabanta. Okay. At sinasabi nga po namin dahil po doon sa pagbabanta, ito po ay umabot na doon na po sa level na ang national security nataya na po na kompromiso na. Sapagkat marami na pong lumalabas, tuloy-tuloy na pagbabanta. So doon na po natin ito tinitingnan.
In the same video, she mentioned massive corruption. But wala pa dyan kasi yung kayo speech at flood control investigation. So, same question, Director. Naintindihan ko, yun yung pinaniwalaan nyo. May kausap siya, no joke. Pero ang question ko, paano yung proseso nyo or anong naging thinking nyo na etong papapatay yung presidente, pinaniniwalaan ko, pero etong siya ang papatayin, hindi ko paniniwalaan, at etong graft and corruption, hindi ko rin paniniwalaan. What's the process there?
Well, ang proseso po dyan ay tinignan naman natin doon po sa pagbabanta niya, kung sa grave threat po yung pag-uusapan natin, alam naman po natin na yung threat na yan is absolute dahil nandoon naman po yung elemento eh. Doon naman po sa sinasabi namin na tuloy-tuloy na pag-iimbestiga dahil ito nga po ay umabot na sa level lang na naapektuhan ng national security, we take into context yung mismong sinabi niya na meron siyang kinausap at yung kanyang kinausap ay pumayag. Yung po kanyang sinasabi na kung papatayin ako, that is supposed to be na statement niya sa aming pong pananaw just to cover yung kanyang pagsasabi na siya may kinausap para patayin ang ating Pangulo.
Okay, I won't argue with you, yun yung proseso nyo. But in the meantime, there were 3 statements. Massive corruption, kung papatayin siya, patayin. So, focusing dun sa patayin yung 3 kung papatayin siya. In the meantime, tumutuo yung yung massive corruption lumabas afterwards, di ba? So, just one other point. At the beginning of the prosecution's questions to you, and I think the defense had a question about what can you investigate. Can you repeat your answer? As the NBI director and the NBI can investigate, did you say all crimes o yung mga crimes?
Lahat po ng mga pumapasok sa amin na mga krimen ay amin pong pwedeng imbestigahan, mutu proprio. Ganon din po yung mga krimen na meron pong nagreklamo na araw-araw na may pumupunta sa aming tanggapan para magreklamo. Ito po yung aming iniimbestigahan. At meron din pong mga iniimbestigahan kami na inutos po ng Department of Justice, and by the very nature under the Constitution po ng Office of the Ombudsman, they can delegate the National Bureau of Investigation to...
So as a general rule, you can investigate any crime motu proprio?
More than the investigation of the crime is also the protection of our nationals. Yes. Saka po siyempre siguraduhin na promote ang ang ating demokrasya hindi nakukompromiso.
Yes, but sa
Lahat po
investigation lang. So you can investigate any crime.
yan. Tama po.
Yeah. Isn't that against the Republic Act 10867? The statute
the
that gives
statute
you
of-
power. The act reorganizing and modernizing the National Bureau of Investigation. Sabi dito sa inyong Section 4, the NBI shall have the following powers and functions. Undertake and investigate the detection of crimes and offenses enumerated under Section 5. Section 5, may enumeration, human trafficking cases in all airports, extrajudicial, extralegal killings committed by state security forces against media practitioners' activities, killings of justices and judges, violation of 100175, otherwise known Cyber Crime Prevention Act, cases against Interagency Graft Coordinating Council and violations of the Anti-Dummy Law. Tapos, cases involving threats, security assaults against persons of the President, Vice President, Senate President, Speaker of the House, Chief Justices. Walang congressman, senators, unlike judges lahat. Transnational crimes pursuant to existing international agreements, identification of dead victims in case of mass fatalities, incidents caused by natural disaster, and violation of commercial, economic, financial, white-collar crimes nakadyan yung law. So, exclusive yung enumeration. Then, provided, however, if that the President or Secretary of Justice may direct the NBI to undertake investigation of any crime when public interest so requires. So, hindi ba limited ang pwede niyong imbestigahan except that ang DOJ at President ang pwede mag-atas? That's my last question.
Yes. Kindly wind up.
Well,
Witness may answer.
Yes, yung pong ating listahan na yan, tama po, nandiyan dyan. Subalit, hindi naman po sinasabi na nalilimita dyan ang aming pong pag-iimbestiga sapagkat malinaw po ang mandato ng NBI that we are the primary investigating body. Yun lamang nga po, merong mga kaso kung ito po ay bumagsak na sa jurisdiction halimbawa ng PNP na kanilang iniimbestigahan, we can still help and coordinate at the same way na kung kami po ay nag-iimbestiga at ang PNP pwede rin pong tumulong
Well,
po sa amin.
Director, if that's your interpretation, that goes against what they taught us in law school, na pag exclusive yung enumeration, you cannot add. And at the end of the enumeration of Section 5, nakalagay nga dito, however, the President and Secretary of Justice may direct you to undertake investigations of any crime. Why do they have to say any crime if you can do it any crime? If you can investigate any crime after all? It seems that you're expanding your jurisdiction by yourself.
Well, we'll be doing po yan sapagkat we have also our primary role to make sure that law and order is being promoted through the NBI din po.
Senator
you.
Cayetano
Thank you.
can avail
Thank
of
you.
the second
Sorry.
round.
Yeah, thank you.
Later or tomorrow, since I believe Attorney Matibag, Director Matibag, forgive me, will still be here for the continuation of cross. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo thereafter. Senator Judge Pangilinan. Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo, you have, I believe, one question, right?
Actually, 2 questions, Your Honor.
You may
Sana-
proceed, sir. You have 2 minutes, actually.
Naku, na-stress na ako kanina. 5 minuto ako doon. Minamadali. But anyway, going back to Ronald Mas, what was the justification of the NBI back then when Mr. Ronald Mas was arrested without warrant?
Well, they consider po that the threat is live and alam nyo nga po, yung sinasabi na lahat po ng threat ay hindi po, ito po yung sinuseryoso.
So may nag-order sa na-arrestuin si Ronald
I
Mas?
don't have that recollection. Hindi ko po alam. But it was, the arrest was made by the regional office po of Region 1 po.
So would you admit now na illegal yung ginawa ng NBI noon na pag-aresto kay Ronald Mas na walang warrant?
Well, si Ronald Mas po was released precisely the reason why meron pong lapses po dun
May
po sa
lapses.
procedure.
Okay. Would you also consider na the fact na merong ginawang pagbabanta si Baste Duterte na similar dito kay Ronald Mas na dapat umaksyon din yung NBI tulad ng pag-aksyon nila sa isang guro?
Kaya katunayan, yan nga po yung aking binabanggit na tuloy-tuloy po yung investigation sapagkat alam nyo po yung warrantless arrest, lesson nga po dyan kay Romel Mas yan na dapat po kasi immediate po yung pong pag-aresto. Pag yan po ay lumipas na, hindi na po tayo pwedeng mag-aresto under the law sapagkat papasok po ito sa illegal arrest po.
Last na lamang. So, make a comparison ngayon. Bakit yung isang guro na nagbanta kay dati Pangulong Duterte agad inaresto at bakit itong isang Vice President na nagbanta kay Pangulong Bongbong Marcos hindi inaresto ng NBI?
I can only second guess po na maaaring may pagkakaiba po ng proseso or tinitingnan po ang administrasyon. ng panahon na yun at ng panahon po ngayon.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Judge Rafi Tulfo. Senator Judge Pangilinan is recognized. You may proceed with your intervention, sir. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Magandang gabi, Ginoong Direktor. Kanina tinatanong sa inyo, no, yung usapin ng trust rating. Na mas mataas yung trust rating ng Vice President kaysa sa Presidente. Bilang abogado, tinanong sa iyo ito kanina, may kinalaman ba ang approval sa trust? Kung mas mataas ang trust rating, ibig sabihin wala ng betrayal of the public trust.
Well, wala po. Sapagkat sabi ko nga, sa akin pong pananaw, sa akin din pong kaunting eksperyensya bilang isang political advisor din po, yung ating pong mga survey is only a snapshot ng mga pwedeng nangyayari. Alam naman po natin, ang tinatanong dyan, ilan lang o magpipili ng lugar kung saan po gagawin yung survey, hindi po natin pwede itong maging basihan sa pag-imbestiga sapagkat pagkaganyan po yung ating ginawa, magkakaroon po tayo ng problema sapagkat ang mangyayari sa atin dyan, yung tinitingnan pala natin ay yung numero. At without accusing anyone, alam naman natin there are surveys that can be manipulated po.
No, but having said that, kaya ako lang tinanong yon kasi baka yung mga nakikinig nating mga kababayan ay malito dahil hindi ba tamang sabihin na iba yung trust rating, iba yung betrayal of the public trust.
Tama po.
Tama.
Yung trust rating po ay base sa numero dahil sa survey. Yung betrayal of public trust, malinaw naman po yan na nakasaad sa konstitusyon na ito ay isang basihan ng impeachment. At saan po pumapasok ang betrayal of public trust? Pag meron ka pong ginawa na pag-violate, not necessarily criminal, hindi kailangan ng conviction, kundi sinasabi po, pag tinignan natin yung discussion po ng ating Constitutional Committee ng ginawa yan, binabanggit nga po dyan yung betrayal of public trust, yung hindi mo pagtupad sa yung oath of office, that will qualify as a betrayal of public
In
trust.
other words, negative yung trust rating mo o 100% yung trust rating mo, base sa batas, base sa konstitusyon, pwede kang ma-convict. Whether negative or positive trust rating, pwede ka pa rin ma-convict o ma-acquit. Depende sa ebidensya sa usapin ng betrayal of the public trust.
Tama po. Wala pong kinalaman ang survey on the trust rating, kundi kung ano po ang ebidensya na ipinasok po sa ating pong impeachment court.
Maraming salamat.
Senator Judge Pia Cayetano is recognized for her interjections and interventions. You may proceed, ma'am, when you are ready, and you have 2 minutes.
Do you consider Las Canas an important witness for you, for the prosecution?
With all due respect, Your Honor, the purpose of the testimony is to present what transpired during the investigation of the Special Task Force. As to whether or not what probative value it holds, it is not part actually of the decision of the prosecution, as what we are intending to do here is to present only what happened during the investigation of the NBI, Your Honor.
Mr. Presiding Officer, the rules of evidence are very clear. You either present a witness who provides your testimony or you present a document. And in terms of documents, Rule 132, Section 19 says there are 2 classes of documents, public documents and private documents. Included in public documents are documents acknowledged before a notary public. Yung pinakitang document is not acknowledged by a notary public. Pwede naman din ang private documents, that's the other class. If it can be shown and authenticated in any of the following manner. The person saw the document executed or written. Nakita ba ng witness mo na sinulat yon? Nakita ba niya?
Your Honor, we can...
No, please answer my question.
No, Your Honor.
The next manner of authenticating by evidence of the genuineness of the signature or handwriting of the maker. The defense said ni walang original signature doon. Do you disagree with that?
We don't, Your Honor.
Okay. And the third, by other evidence showing its due execution and authenticity. Did you provide?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so simple lang, Mr. Presiding Officer. They're trying to prove something by showing a document that any law student, even yung mga kababayan natin na nakikinig na ngayon na ang dami ng alam sa procedure, will tell you na hindi acceptable yon. And with all due respect, katulad din nung kahapon na humingi ako ng payo sa inyo, again, I will not name names. We had a discussion in caucus na you cannot unsee what you see. You cannot unhear what you hear. So pinalabas yun. Wala akong problema na palabasin yun, pero do your job and present the proper witness and the proper documentation to do that. Do your job. I'm addressing this, Mr. Presiding Officer, to us as a body. Kasi hindi tama yun. Magdidesisyon tayo, you warn us, pero pinabayaan natin na makita yun. Minamarkahan pa, submarkings. What's the purpose of all that?
May I respond, Your Honor?
Not really.
I don't believe
because
there
I
was a
already
question.
answered. I already asked you the questions, and you had a chance to respond. Yes.
There was no question posed, or I was
There's none, yes.
telling the lead prosecutor.
I move to my next point, Mr. Presiding Officer. Our jurisprudence is very clear, no? A witness must be competent and credible. Di ko nababasahin lahat yung jurisprudence natin dyan dahil kompleto na yung record natin dyan. But there is also a also included in our rules, Rule 132 on the rules of evidence, and I'll read it. A witness may be impeached by the party against whom he or she was called by contradictory evidence, by evidence that his or her general reputation for truth, honesty, or integrity is bad, or by evidence that he or she has made at other times statements inconsistent with his or her present testimony. So this is the rules, no? Siguro we can, well, I'm reading the rules, so we can take notice of this, that this is what our rules say, and I don't think anyone will contradict that. Again, there are lots of cases supporting this. So just want to point out, Mr. President, that just looking for my notes. Sorry, with the indulgences of the body, I'm just looking for my notes because I want to be accurate in my the next statement that I'm going to read into the record.
If the lady cannot locate it, she may avail of her time again tomorrow, since Director Matibag and the counsel for the parties will
Pwede
be here
naman,
tomorrow.
but if you give me a few more seconds, I might be able to dispose of this issue, Mr. President, Mr. Presiding Officer. Okay, I won't delay I can paraphrase it, but I think it would be best if I look at the records, so I will just avail.
The presiding officer will give the
witness will be
lady
here.
first crack at interventions by Senator Judge tomorrow after the cross-examination of the counsel for respondent tomorrow. Since Director Matibag will be here again tomorrow for the continuation of the cross-examination by counsel for respondent, the interjections and interventions of the other senator judges may proceed. Again, after the cross-examination, redirect and recross if any. So the senator judges have time until tomorrow. Unless there are other matters that the counsel for the parties would want to discuss,
One last.
the court will wind down with some administrative matters.
One last
Yes, counsel
addition.
for respondent.
Your Honor, aside from the Las Cañas document, we would also like to request a copy of the AO number 11, just for reference, Your Honor, to be used as AO number 11.
The counsel, the prosecutor is directed to furnish within
We can do
the
that
day.
after the proceedings, sir.
Within the day after the proceedings, a copy of AO number 11, signed by Director Matibag, dated, if I'm not mistaken, April 16, 2026. Any other points you want to raise, lead prosecutor?
Your Honor, it appears that there is standing subpoena for
I will rule on that in a bit.
for
I will
Ms.
rule on that in a
Marivic
bit.
Pareja.
I will rule against who?
Ms. Marivic Pareja of Legislative Archive. We manifested yesterday, Your Honor, that we have yet to determine when we will be presenting this witness.
Yes, we
So
will act on these at the proper time. This will be part of the chair's ruling before we adjourn.
May I inquire, Your Honor, if tomorrow we will be able to conclude the testimony of witness Director Matibag, whether or not we will be proceeding to present the first witness for confidential fund, Your Honor.
The court will address that in a bit before we adjourn, counsel. Any other points, counsel for the respondent?
No more, Your Honor.
Court will now dispose of some administrative matters. We are in receipt of a request for subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Ms. Marivic Pareja, as well as subpoena ad testificandum addressed to Mr. Roderick C. Wamil and Ms. Eileen May Del Ocampo, both from the Commission on Audit. The chair, the presiding officer, defers action on these requests for subpoena and will act on them at the proper time and in due time. In regard to the subpoena ad testificandum endus tecum issued to Ms. Violeta Constantino and Ms. Nenita Camposano. The chair in the meantime recalls the subpoenas issued to them without prejudice to reissuing the subpoena at a later time for a later date. Para po sa kaalaman, ang dalawang sinabpina ng Senadong ito bilang impeachment court na si Ginang o Binibining Violeta Constantino, Ginang o Binibining Nenita Camposano, hindi niyo po kailangan magpunta dito sa hukuman bukas. Binabawi pong pansamantala ng hukumang ito ang subpoena in-issue para sa inyo at mag-i-issue na lamang po kami ng panibagong subpoena kung kailan po kayo kinakailangan magpunta o magtungo dito sa impeachment court sa Senado. What is the pleasure of Senator Judge Zubiri?
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. Just want to ask a question. You are withdrawing the subpoena because you feel that we might not take them up tomorrow, is that
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
correct? Haba pa ba to kay witness Matibag? You mean we cannot take it up tomorrow?
I would think so. That was pursuant to a discussion with both counsel for the parties earlier.
So
Senator
we're
Judge
looking
Zubiri.
at taking up that article on Monday.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Also, in regard to the trial, the senator judges
SONA,
agreed.
Tuesday pala po.
I'm sorry.
Tuesday, sorry. Monday is the SONA. So Tuesday.
I will discuss that too, Senator Judge Zubiri. During caucus, the senator judges agreed for next week there will be no trial on Monday given that it's the State of the Nation of the President. There will be no trial on Tuesday to afford the minority the opportunity to prepare and deliver their contra sona, which is a tradition in relation to the State of the Nation address by the President. So our next trial date, for your information, which we will clarify on Wednesday, tomorrow, will be on July 29. Now, on July 29, again, as agreed in caucus by the senators and the senator judges, the new time of the trial will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the session of the Senate will be on or at 4 p.m. So to repeat, no trial on July 27, Monday. No trial on July 28, that's a Tuesday. On Wednesday, our trial will resume July 29 at 10 a.m. up to 3 p.m. with a break, short break for lunch, snacks, or the call of nature for anyone. Henceforth, after that week in August, we will be conducting the trial from Monday to Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Counsel for the parties are asked to take note. So, to avoid confusion, Director Matibag, we expect you to come back and be here again tomorrow, not at 10 but at 2 p.m. To continue with your testimony via the cross-examination, redirect or recross of the counsel for the parties, and questions from the senator judges. Without issuing a subpoena, Director Matibag, do we get your commitment to be here tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor, gladly.
Thank you very much. There being no other matters to be taken up and no other business to take up, the trial is hereby adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, July 2022 at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.